Hi and welcome to this video all about how to create a SharePoint news slider. Now, a SharePoint news slider, or some people refer to it as a news carousel, is essentially a roll-up of news articles which are displayed on maybe the home page of your intranet, and they're designed to be sort of sliding around at a pace that you choose to capture the kind of attention of people to see the news article. So this is an example I've got on here, and you can see I've just got some dummy content in here, which has got some lorem ipsum. But essentially, once you've created your news articles, users can click on them, and that will then open up the full news article in a separate page. News articles could be created internally, as in you've created the pages yourself, or you can actually even link to external pages. So maybe it was on a third-party news website or your public web page or something like that. Or it could link to basically anything you wanted. If you wanted to link it to a document or a separate area of files or folders or something like that inside of SharePoint, you could do that as well if you wished. So let's take a little look at actually how do we build out then this news slider. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and create a new SharePoint site to start completely from fresh to show you how this is built. So I'm going to go to office.com and I'm going to go to the SharePoint app. Oh, it'd help if I could actually spell. There we go. And then I'm going to create a new site. So it doesn't really matter what the site's called. I'm going to create as a communication site. Because typically these new sliders are part of a kind of overall intranet as a front-facing piece, so it's usually a communication site. So I'm just going to call this Site 1, and then click on Finish. So this is just literally creating a blank slate, a brand new SharePoint site, just to show you exactly how this can kind of come together. So the first thing is actually the new slider is actually just part of the news web part. So we can see down here we've already got a news web part by default that's created as part of the default SharePoint site template. Now, say for example I want to rearrange this page, so maybe I want to put my slider across the top. I'm going to click on Edit to actually edit the page, and I'm going to just delete this hero web part just to move my news web part slightly higher up. Now, to actually create the new slider, we need to edit the news web part itself. So to select it, and then click on this pencil button. So anywhere you see a pencil button in SharePoint, it means that there's properties of that web part that you can edit. So we click on that, and on the right hand side, you see a couple of different options. Now the first option is it's talking about where is it getting its news sourced. So this is essentially saying we're getting all the news directly from this SharePoint site. So this Site 1 site that we've just created. But we could say, well, actually we could select some sites. So I could pull out news from maybe my human resources site and pull the news directly from there. Or maybe I want to pull it from my operations site and pull the news directly from the operations instead. We can have a mixture, so you can actually select multiple sources and it can pull the latest news directly into this feed for you. This is also in combination with creating news on this actual site. So it's this site and other selected sites. Or you could say recommended for current user. Now, recommended for current user is a little bit of black magic, really, that it's sort of AI driven and it's going to get a picture of what the sort of thing that user is interested in and then display it back to them automatically. So it's all dynamic and there's no control for the site owner, so to speak, to actually present news back to people. So for now, I'm just going to say selected sites, and I'm going to say it's going to be operations, IT, and human resources related news. So that gives us enough news to populate this. Then further down, this is where we can actually turn it into a slider or a carousel. So we've got a couple of different options here. So that by default it's got the side by side, which means it's a kind of 2 by 2 kind of square shape. We could also have a top story, which is basically the top story be on the left hand side, the latest story, followed by 3 more. And you can also see when you've got more news articles than what will fit on the page, this see all button will appear across the right hand side. Now this isn't something you have to enable, it will just turn up as you've got more articles than what will fit on the page. There's also a list, so you can display it as, sort of, as a list going down the page, as well as a hub news, which is essentially tiles on the left-hand side and a list on the right-hand side. And as you get more than this, it will actually double up again. So you'll get 2 rows. You'll get almost 3 by 2, and then you'll get 6 links on the right-hand side. There is also the tiles option, which looks like the hero web part, and most importantly what we're here to look at today is this carousel option. So we click on carousel. This is what gives us that news slideshow that we're looking for. Now you can choose the number of news posts to show. So for example, you could have 6, but I think sometimes the sweet spot is around 3 or 4, something like that, just to really sort of highlight the latest content. Also, when you're thinking about news, I like to reverse engineer how many news articles I think that the organization is going to be creating, and then base the amount of news web parts and sliders that we have on the page based around that. So say, for example, an organization that's creating news articles once a month should have a lot less news articles showing on the homepage than maybe an organization that's creating 1 a day, for example. Because if you think about it, if you've only got, say for example, you've got 4 slots on your news slideshow here, if you're only creating 1 news article every month, that's 4 months worth of content that you'll have on your slideshow. Whereas compared to an organization which is creating 1 a day, that's 4 days worth of content. So they may choose to up that to maybe say 6, so or 5, so that they've got a full week's worth of content all in that one kind of slideshow. We can also choose whether we want to automatically cycle the news. Now, most people usually do, and then when you select that, you can then choose how many seconds it will wait until it's sliding. Now, I tend to find that 5 seconds is a little bit slow in reality. When you first land on that page, you want to start seeing it moving around so that users know that they're going to see different content. Now, if you put it too low, say for example 2 seconds, then that I think is a little bit too quick. I think that people can not have enough time to read the title of the news article before it's sliding around again, and it just looks a little bit too busy. I tend to find somewhere between the 3 seconds mark, 4 seconds mark, something like that is roughly about right. It's enough that you kind of see the article and you can see that there's multiple articles as you're kind of scrolling the page, but it gives you enough of a chance to kind of digest what that article actually was. Now, the user can always kind of cycle back through using the arrows on the left and the right hand side of the carousel if they wanted to get back to a particular article. So it doesn't mean they have to sit there and wait for it to come back round again, sort of thing. Now the news, there is some other advanced features as well. So we could do things like filtering, so you can filter news articles to only show news articles that contain certain values. You can also use audience targeting, which means that you can show and hide news articles dependent on what security groups that user is in. So to take an example, it might be you've got security groups based on regions or countries around the world. Say you're a sort of multinational company with an office in the US, an office in Europe, an office in Asia. You might have security groups for each of those 3. And then, for example, I work in Europe, so I only see news articles which appear on the homepage which are being targeted specifically at the Europe group. We can also use this organize function. So the organize means that we can cherry pick news articles to actually show on the homepage. So at the moment, by default, it will just show the latest news articles that it finds from the source I've selected. Whereas actually using the organize option, I can choose to override that and show them in an order that I choose. One of the final things you might want to do as well with this web part is choose to turn the show title and commands off. So that will then hide, you can see across the top, the title has now disappeared and the see all button and the add button has disappeared. And that just makes it a little bit neater on the page. So on my example here, I've done that, and then you can see it nicely aligns down on the right hand side with the useful links, for example. So there's no massive gap between that and the top. Then once you're happy, all you need to do is click on republish, and that will then add your news slider to the top page. Now all you need to do is add in news articles, which is super simple to do. You just click on the new button, click on news post. You can select a template, but I'm just going to say blank. We can give it a name. So say welcome to Joe Blogs. We can put in some text. So we can say this week we welcome Joe Blogs to HR. We can select a profile, a banner image. So we click on, say, maybe stock images, and then we'll just search office. This guy can be Joe Blogs. Click on the insert button across the bottom, And then once we're happy with our news, we click on Post News, and that's then created our news article, posted it to our site, and then it will then appear directly inside of our news slider. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to the channel for further SharePoint top tips.